So decided to deload this week, and so just to keep the consistency up of actually filming, thought, well, I've been wanting to do it for a while, but why not just give a tour of my home gym? Seen quite a few of these on YouTube, and thought, well, maybe give some ideas to other people out there if they do watch this. But yeah, it's something that's been a kind of dream of mine for a long time. Been training in it for about a year now, just over probably about a year and a half. Started, I think it was August or September 2021. But we come from outside, so you'll see that it's almost like 1.5 garages, or like 3/4 of a double garage. And just to give a quick overview first. Apologies for the dodgy camera work. So that's an overview. Just to give a quick rundown on everything. As you come in, I've got all my just random bits of gear. I've got like wrist wraps, like SPD wrist wraps, and stuff like knee sleeves in here. It's quite handy. Got my speaker. Then I've got some squat shoes. So 2 pairs of Adi Powers in black and white, which I think look pretty sick. Then got some, I can't remember what these are called, some Adidas things as well, which are my partners, and then some more stuff as well as a calf block. Then for the dumbbells, I've got from 5 kg to 50 kg. There's some at the bottom as well, just some little ones in 5 kg increments. So I mean, meaning to buy some, I think they're called Platemate or Micro Gains, but they're quite expensive for what they are with the shipping from the US. I can't really find anything equivalent in the UK that would fit these. They're actually quite short as well, so the idea would be to put something on the inside. But there's not much space, so there's like these things that clip on the inside of the dumbbell, but I don't have huge hands, but I feel like it'll still be quite tight. But for now it's quite good. It just means I've got to work for longer in certain rep ranges. Got a body solid leg extension leg curl, which I'm pretty happy with. Kind of does the job. It's probably not my favourite piece of equipment, but yeah, it's kind of a useful piece of equipment to have that you can't really, I mean, you can maybe do similar things with a cable, but not quite as effectively. So that's kind of one of the things I thought kind of fork out on. Then I got a Rogue bench, the Rogue 2.0 adjustable bench. I don't know if they still make them because they've upgraded to a new version, but this thing's just rock solid, and it's got quite a few incline settings as well. So really happy with that purchase. Just Rogue generally, just awesome customer service as well. They got a Concept 2 rower, which I don't use as much as I probably should. Then, yeah, I think if you looked at the lifetime meters in this, it's not great. So then you got a mirror, can't remember how big that was. A Rogue sign, which probably maybe isn't quite justified for the amount of Rogue equipment I have. I've only got a few pieces, like a bar, squat rack, and a bench, but hey, it looks pretty cool in my opinion. SPD banner, and then I got the kind of centerpiece of the gym, which is a Rogue SML1 squat rack, which I kind of modified. I bought like another set of uprights and attached it, so then I can put weight storage on the back here, which is pretty cool. And on top of that is a Wolverson deadlift platform, which probably again could have made myself, but for the time and my DIY skills, it's probably was a better decision just to buy it. And yeah, pretty good so far. I mean, yeah, I think it adds a nice look as well as the gym having something quite a nice finish with the black frame. So I think Wolverson, they're like a local company based in Worcestershire, which is pretty cool. So yeah, and then we've also got on here as well, we've got squat handles, which are pretty cool. I've started doing Hatfield squats, and they're just really sturdy. They're just pretty aesthetic as well for It's got a nice grip as well as the pins that keep them locked in, so it's a safe way of doing them. I've got a deadlift jack from Strength Shop, which I probably will sell because it's quite big for the space, although it's kind of conveniently located there. But yeah, then I've got black box squat ramp, which is about I think 16 degrees. I'm finding that quite useful for my training as well. A dip belt. These are both recent purchases, just useful pieces. And then I've got the weights as well. So I've got 2 10 kgs, 2 15s, and then 10 20 kg bumpers, because I've got more over here as well. So yeah, I think I've got about 250, 260 kg worth of weights. And in retrospect, well, I think it was probably the right decision because it's quite quiet, which is quite useful as well. It doesn't make a lot of noise. So it's useful to have. And then obviously I missed out on the flooring as well, which was just horse stall mats. And yeah, I'm glad that I did it all because it has a really nice aesthetic. Goes nice with the white walls. Then what else? Okay, I've got my pull-up bar. So maybe could have been a bit more thoughtful with this and actually got the pull-up bar with the Rogue rack, but that was the only Rogue rack that was short enough for the ceiling height, and it wasn't quite tall enough to put a pull-up bar on. So I just thought, well, just put one up here, and as long as I just do them kneeling, it's yeah, completely fine. Then I got a Rogue gun rack to hold my bars, which I got a Rogue Ohio bar, which is this one. Then I got an ATX power bar. Then a safety squat bar from Mirrorfit. It's not the best, to be honest, but it kind of does a job. That's probably one thing I will upgrade. And then finally got a what's it called, trap bar from Strength Shop. Again, not the best quality, and I don't use it as much as probably could. But maybe in the future it's something kind of work into my training again. Then over here I've got my plate tree, also from Strength Shop, as well as some change plates. My knee sleeves on here, as people may relate. They can, yeah, kind of necessary sometimes to avoid a little bit of a stink. Then over here I've got my cable setup, so dual adjustable pulley. It's quite a compact one, but I feel like it was perfect for the space. It's from Wolverton Fitness as well. And then with my attachments as well, got a few here, as well as some more in my kind of crumpled thing now that's not meant to store weights, to be honest. And then I've got my gym pins, which are pretty useful for kind of putting. This is like a 2-to-1 pulley ratio, so it's kind of necessary if you want to do anything like lat pull downs with a single stack. Anyway, if you use you've got the other side, you've got something that connects them, so I can do lat pull downs with a straight bar, which is pretty useful. But it's really great in the sense that it's so versatile, and you just come up with ways of replicating exercises with it. And yeah, if anybody is creating a home gym, or has one currently, definitely worthwhile investment. And yeah, the space it takes up is really minimal for the amount of exercise it provides. So then I've also got some dip bars, which again purchased recently. I haven't used that much. I'm not sure how necessary this purchase was, or to be honest, the extension to the rack, but I've done it now. Got my belts, got an Inza, and a Rise belt. And actually, they barely use this Inza, even though it's probably better quality, just because of how stiff it is. But maybe in the future, if I get back more into powerlifting, I'll start using it. Then I've got my mag grip attachments. I've got the 5 knockoff version. It's like a wide grip, medium grip, and then 2 close grips, plus like another medium grip, which is kind of pointless. But yeah. Then what else is there? I've got my Floor GHD, which pretty versatile as well, and again pretty compact, doesn't take up much space. You can do Bulgarian split squats on this, do a hip thrust, you can do GHD sit-ups. I even use those for like deficit push-ups at the top. Again, I'm not sure how secure that is, or it might break at some point doing it like that, but hey, for now it's okay. And then I've got a black box multi-grip bar, which is kind of like the Kabuki Cadillac bar, except it's half the price over here in the UK. It's kind of probably the best version you can get, or the only version I've seen that kind of replicates it. I would say the quality, I could maybe do a review on this separately, to be honest, but haven't used it that much at all yet, so actually maybe it's best until I've actually incorporated it more into my training. That was kind of an impulse buy, but hopefully get some use out of that. And then I've got a slant board as well for some, which I can kind of collapse and put together to do decline sit-ups and reverse crunches. So I think that's kind of a good overview of everything. So yeah, hopefully that's been helpful. And I guess for me as well, it's just the chance to kind of put out a work into this gym. It's kind of a dream of mine for a long time to actually put this into existence, and yeah, pretty proud of it, and train this 5 times a week, and it just shows you don't need lots of fancy equipment to achieve your lifting goals. So, but yeah, I'll go back to the normal training logs next week. And yeah, as I think I mentioned before, that this week wasn't going to be a deload week, but I ended up, which I'll talk about next week, turning it into a deload week from the first couple sessions. It just really felt like I needed it. So yeah, we'll tune in again next week.